First, let me tell you if this video is worth your time, because you saw the title, but I'm not going to be going into detail or talking much about Assassin's Creed Mirage or Starfield for reasons that will be apparent later on. This video is more about what it feels like to be a small YouTuber that is this week achieving some serious gamer goals, how we got there as a channel, how you might be able to get there as well, and what is going to happen next for this channel. Second, this video is more for viewers of this channel who have been along the ride that has been a bumpy one, has been unpredictable, but it's going to exciting places now, and I wanted to reach out to show some gratitude to all of those who have supported us. So if you are not a YouTuber yourself or a regular viewer of this channel, you should definitely stay tuned for information about free games all over the gaming universe, and apparently news about biggest releases of the year in the gaming world. That's new for us, but stay tuned for that. However, the rest of this video might not be very interesting for you. Now, if you're still here, thank you very much for being a viewer of this channel and for your support. Really big things have happened this week, and I wanted to just say a few words about it. Now, first, I know in the title it says big week for a small channel, because we do still think of this as a small channel. I know that 65,000 subscribers seemed like an impossible dream to some of you, especially if you are still climbing up that very steep monetization hill. And I know because we were there not so long ago when getting monetized felt impossible, getting 10,000 subscribers felt impossible, getting to 65,000 subscribers felt impossible. And each of these milestones just seemed incredible, but still we don't consider ourselves to be anything more than a small gaming channel. We talk very casually about free games. We're far from influencing any large-scale purchasing patterns, and when we write to the large gaming companies, we really don't expect them to write back. So being anything more than a small gaming channel really seemed impossible. But you know what seemed even more impossible even just a couple of weeks ago? That developers like Ubisoft or Bethesda would reach out to us and offer us the opportunity to play their biggest games of the year. But that's exactly what happened this week, and I have to be very careful in what I say, but I think I'm allowed to say that this week we were asked to sign NDAs with Ubisoft and with Bethesda, and we were, I know I'm also allowed to say this, invited to a play test for Assassin's Creed Mirage 6 weeks before release, and given a premium edition early access key for Starfield that now, of course, has hit the market, but the base game won't be available for a few more days. So as I said, I am not going to go into detail about these two games, but we do have videos coming up for Assassin's Creed Mirage. September 12th is the embargo date, and Starfield I'm trying to jump into now and get at least some kind of tutorial guide videos out there. But it's still going to be a little while before going farther. And about Assassin's Creed Mirage, because of the NDA, all I can say is that I was able to play it for an hour and a half. It was an entirely new experience for me and for this channel to be with a demoist from Ubisoft, with other channels. Some of the channels in the Discord server that we were sharing have over 1 million subscribers, so it was absolutely surreal to have this opportunity to be able to put hands on a game that you may be excited about or not, but it's a big deal. It's from a huge company, and I never thought that we would be invited to be part of that kind of big release. So this is really exciting, and what I want to say to anyone out there who is trying to be a gaming YouTuber and who is struggling is a little bit nuanced. You hear a lot of people saying, well, just keep grinding, keep working, follow your heart, and if you believe it enough, it's going to happen. This is not true, and usually that kind of advice is coming from people who happen to be the people who have made it. I don't consider that we are a channel who has made it yet. We are not professional full-time YouTubers yet. But the point is that not being professional full-time YouTubers, we have suddenly now gotten to the point where we are being found by Ubisoft and Bethesda and invited to events with them. That by itself is kind of a dream come true. And even if the channel doesn't go anywhere beyond that, we are now on a list with companies like this and able to bring you content about new upcoming games that the whole gaming world is interested in, whether they like it or not, whether they're positive or negative about the game. They are interested in the content. That is a new universe for us. I think what I would say to anyone for whom that seems impossible is that it just suddenly happens sooner than you think. It doesn't just happen by itself. It requires a lot of work, a lot of grinding, a lot of putting out content that just dives and goes nowhere. The key, I think, is to continue to innovate what you do. You know, for every video series that we put out on a regular basis, we have tried at least 10 ideas that we tried for a few weeks, a month, realized that it wasn't going anywhere, and just scrapped the whole thing. It's constantly coming up with new ideas, constantly looking into the analytics, constantly analyzing what our viewers are looking for, what works, what doesn't work, where we want the channel to go, trying to fight against the algorithm to push the channel in our growing our audience in a certain direction. And every day it seems like it's not going to work. And Michal and I, my co-host, we've had so many discussions about, this might not go any farther. We might be completely stuck. We might not be able to grow anymore. Maybe we've reached a ceiling for this type of content. And this could still, that is still very much in our minds. You know, we are like mostly built around playing and reviewing the free games from the Epic Games Store. And if Epic Games suddenly decides to stop giving away those free games, it's very possible that we'll be dead in the water. That we will not be able to produce content that our audience is actually interested in. We're very aware of that. Even at this size, if you're a small gaming YouTuber and thinking that we are established and we have it made, this could all go away like that. But what changed this week is suddenly being on a list for these huge developers. That means in the future, we will probably be able to bring content about the big games and to be in touch with the big companies. We didn't expect that to happen for another 2 years at least, probably reaching 100,000 subscribers at least, if not more. And I would love to know how these companies search through YouTube to find us. I have no idea. But what I did notice, like in the Discord server with the Ubisoft playtest, is that there were channels there with 1 million subscribers, and there were channels that had like 20,000 subscribers. Now, if you're really struggling right now, trying to get to 1,000 or trying to get to 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 is not as far away as you think if you keep innovating and keep grinding. And it seems that from a certain perspective, with a little bit of luck, it is still possible to get access to these types of companies. Now, I think the key from what I observed of these channels, some of which are much smaller than us, is to specialize. And by specialize, I mean specialized regionally. A lot of these channels were in the Polish language, in Hindi, in Spanish. I think trying to reach as huge of an audience as possible is a mistake, because then these big companies are going to say, okay, let's make sure we have Central Europe covered. Let's make sure we have Latin America covered. Let's make sure we saturate these regional markets as well. So that can be really helpful to specialize and to stand out from a smaller crowd, not trying to get a piece of the huge global market on YouTube. That's a mistake that I think our channel has made in some ways. Also, if you want to have access to some of these companies, if you have a favorite developer, a favorite type of game, start focusing on those games, or at least making as much content as you can about those games, because it seems they're going to notice. It's not our case. We have made videos about Bethesda games. We have made videos about Ubisoft games because they were free from the Epic Games Store. We didn't focus on them. But a lot of the smaller channels that I checked out, they are all Assassin's Creed, or like a lot of first-person stealth, that kind of thing, that then probably stands out from the crowd when this big company is looking for the right people to market their new upcoming game. If you know that there's a game coming in a couple of years and you want to be on the list, then build up an expertise in that type of game. I think it's not easy. Michal and I have put an enormous amount of work into this channel and often feeling like we're not getting enough back out of it. But this feels like a new milestone. And so I thought it was worth reaching out to some of you who are struggling, who are trying to find new ideas, new motivation, is that sometimes it clicks and it happens for you faster than you think. But you have to be intentional about it. It's not going to happen organically. Don't just wait around. Keep working, know what you want, and the chances that it happens are better than you think. I'm not going to tell you, follow your heart and the world will open to you and all of this nonsense, but if we can do it, your odds are better than you think. Second, and more quickly, to regular viewers of this channel, one of the reasons definitely that we got these opportunities and one of the reasons we can bring some new interesting types of content to you is because of your support, because of you subscribing, watching our videos, and helping us actually have some type of presence on YouTube. It would be impossible without your support and your loyalty, and I mean that. I know it sounds cliche, thank you for your support and all of that, but at moments like this when it's really a dream come true for a lifetime gamer to be in contact with these companies, to be able to experience their games and their projects before the wider public, to give opinions about it that some people care about, is kind of a dream come true, and you guys are making that happen, and I really, really appreciate that. I know Michal does also. He can't be on this video because he's getting ready to head off to Thailand, where he's going to have a much deserved vacation from the channel for a little while. And I think this also means that if you're a fan of this channel, this could be something that you're excited about as well, because we're not going to stop covering free games. That will always be part of what we do in this channel. But this, thanks to you and thanks to a little bit of luck of being recognized by these big companies, we're going to start being able to bring you content about the bigger games, more mainstream games, and give our own casual, laid-back, very honest approach to these things, but hopefully bring you information about the games that are upcoming that you're excited about, and not just whatever Epic decided to throw at us, which is important for us also because, as I said, we are so dependent on what Epic decides to do. It's a little bit scary because they could stop the free games at any moment. They could change direction. They could shut down the project. You never know. And now we've finally gotten to a point where we will be able to produce interesting gaming content going forward for you guys, and thanks to all of you for your support. So this is a nice cycle here that you've supported the channel, and now we can repay that by bringing you more expanded, more diverse, and interesting content. If you've gotten this far and you haven't subscribed, well, this is a great time to do it. Maybe simply because you want to do a little bit to help some small gaming channels achieve their dreams. That would be great. Our next dream is to reach 100,000 subscribers. So fingers crossed, and let's see what kind of doors open when we actually reach that milestone. If this type of exposure and access is possible at 65,000, or some of the channels that I saw at 20,000, I'm really excited to see what happens once some companies are searching YouTube for, okay, show me channels over 100,000 subscribers talking about video games. That will be exciting. So you could subscribe for that to help us achieve that dream, or knowing that once we achieve that dream, it's going to be a new milestone that allows us to bring even more interesting, more behind the scenes, more advanced content to you about video games, which is what brings us all together. I expected this to be a 2 or 3 minute video, but I had a lot to process. This has been a really incredible week. look forward to content, not as much about Starfield because it's so crowded and it's already hit the market, but we're going to do a little bit about that. Let me know specifically what type of Starfield videos you would like, and I will do my best. No promises, because it's going to be a busy few weeks. Assassin's Creed Mirage is even a better opportunity for us because we had access more than a month before it's released, and we're going to be able to release content about the playtest on September 12th, so 4 weeks before the game is actually released to the public. So because of the NDA, I can't say anything about it, except that the playtest was about an hour and a half. And okay, I'm going to start to tell you other things about it, but I really shouldn't do that, just to be careful and not to jinx this whole experience. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments, if you're a gaming YouTuber, what is the next milestone in front of you would like to achieve? Let's keep it interesting. Not number of subscribers, unless it's monetization, because that's a huge one. If it's not monetization, then let's not talk about number of subscribers, but what would you like to achieve with your channel? I think intentionality is really important and useful as well. Although, to be fair, if I had put down on a paper, like, I want to be contacted by Ubisoft and Bethesda and offered to play their upcoming games, Michal would have just laughed and would say, okay, yeah, let's make that part of the 5-year plan. So tell me your dreams for your channel and where you would like this channel to go in the future now that we have content coming about Starfield and Assassin's Creed Mirage. Which one are you more excited about, and what type of videos would you like to see? Sincerely, thank you very much for getting us to this point. I hope we'll be able to repay it with more interesting, engaging, and entertaining content. See you soon.